General.
Lawyers and National Development, that's the theme of this year's 55th Annual Bar Conference held in Abuja. And on the program today, we will focus on the first 3 days of the conference. Welcome to Law Weekly on Channels Television. I'm Victoria Idowu. Participants at the conference believe that this theme was most appropriate and could not have come at a better time, going by the political philosophy of this current administration. And the President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, was present on the first day of the conference. He urged lawyers not to sacrifice their integrity in a bid to cover up misdeeds of their clients, no matter how lucrative the briefs may be. He called on lawyers to support his administration and make the courts functional and efficient.
Over 8,000 legal luminaries from all over the country are gathered here for the 55th edition of the Nigerian Bar Association's Annual General Conference. And present amongst them is the President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, and the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo.
Your Excellency,
every year, the Umbrella Professional Association for all lawyers admitted to the bar gather to look at certain issues that affect the profession, as well as the country, and this year is no different. Lawyers and National Development is the theme of this year's conference, and President Muhammadu Buhari's speech was on the fight against corruption.
President Muhammadu Buhari.
The President is convinced that lawyers have a great responsibility in this dispensation, more than ever before, urging them not to cover up anyone in the fight against corruption.
Lawyers have a key role to play, whether in the form of our laws and regulations or in the integrity of our judicial systems. It is my fervent hope that this conference and other fora of lawyers and non-lawyers will closely and quickly work out ways of making our legal system much improved in terms of integrity, the human touch, efficiency, and rigorous dedication to the cause of justice. On our own part, we shall not hesitate at all in giving effect to the required changes, whether on the statute books, in the judiciary, or legal education, once we see the change well justified.
The chairman of the occasion, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Mahmoud Mohammed, observed that this year's theme comes at a time when the country needs diligent and effective lawyers. He warns that lawyers must play their role swiftly to avoid delays in the prosecution of cases.
Now, the question of delay, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the bar, major criticism of our system of justice delivery in Nigeria today is the incessant delays in the administration of justice. Lawyers now insist on pursuing cases of interlocutory appeals based on nebulous points of law, regardless of the length of time or the expense involved in doing so to determine their own, to the detriment of their own clients. While it must be knowledgeable that the judiciary is not perfect, we cannot overlook the role of counsel facilitating the onset delay. As we are all aware, delay in some instances are either occasioned by lack of diligent prosecution of cases, antics of counsels, such as the use of interlocutory appeals to stall and frustrate the legitimate expectation of justice or indolence on the part of some of our judicial officers.
Keynote speaker, who is the Chief Justice of Kenya, praised Nigeria's exemplary transition to power and congratulated the Nigerian people for their steadfastness.
I also praise the exemplary transition.
His topic, Transforming Judiciaries in Africa, Lessons from Kenya, centered on the Kenyan experience in the fight against corruption, saying that a bad habit that lasts more than a year will soon become a culture.
The other thing we did was basically to look at the reports that had been agreed upon by the judiciary. We dusted them off and we implemented them because we had, the will to do it. Then we looked at small issues, and I give you an example, one of them, which might look pretty obvious. The drinking of tea in the judiciary of Kenya was restricted to the leadership of judges and magistrates. So the first thing we did was to democratize the drinking of tea by everybody in the judiciary, so that the judges and the chief magistrates and their secretaries were not the only ones who could drink tea.
President of the Nigerian Bar Association, on his part, listed his achievements since he took over. His position is that there should be a whistleblower that will expose corrupt judges to better the judicial system and the Nigerian people.
Our election working group conducted several training programs during the elections and equipped a lot of people for monitoring the election. The MJ disciplinary mechanism has been revved up. Today, it is not only what you do in court that amounts to professional misconduct, but any conduct of a lawyer in any part of the world, in any field of endeavor, that brings the battle to disrepute is professional misconduct. If a lawyer misconducts himself in his church, we take it as professional misconduct by a lawyer. Additionally, we have increased the number of investigative panels that virtually all 2 states now have 1 panel. We have about 15 panels currently in existence. For Abuja alone, I don't know why, we have 2 panels. For Lagos, we have 4 panels. This is work that has to be done to clear the backlog of matters in disciplinary issues.
The first day of the conference comes to an end with one issue rightly emphasizing the role of the judiciary in the fight against corruption, which can only succeed if lawyers play their role effectively.